Anthem gives you the ability to tailor your playstyle by equipping different exosuits. One of these exosuits is known as the Storm. This is everything you need to know about the Storm. So first off, the Storm is a more advanced exosuit. Because it lacks many defensive options, it requires an expert pilot to hover at a safe distance to do lots of damage. The Storm uses seals, which are built into the Storm's body, to tap into the Anthem to release raw elemental energy. The Storm is a master of the elements, making it one of the easiest javelin to set up combos. The Storm is a good exosuit for extended flight as well, so if you'd enjoy raining down attacks from the air, this is the exosuit for you. Like all exosuits, the Storm can carry 2 weapons and can use every weapon type except for heavy weapons, which are reserved for the Colossus. Every exosuit also has a melee ability, with the Storm's ability being the Fiery Strike. The Storm uses the seals on its arms to produce an explosive flash that deals damage and knocks back enemies. The knockback here is important, because it gives you some extra time to get to a safe distance or back into the air. The Storm does not get traditional gear such as grenades or missiles, and instead uses the seals on his body in order to create his special attacks. He has a total of 5 blast seals and 6 focus seals at his disposal. So let's go ahead and cover the 5 blast seals that you will be able to choose from in your loadout. First off, you have the Lightning Strike, which is a detonator ability. It is a targeted strike that deals lightning damage in an area. Next up, we have the Ice Storm, which creates a field of ice that deals damage and rapidly builds until a final explosion of frost. Next up, we have the Flame Burst. This is a quick explosion that deals fire damage to a target. Next up, we have the Rime Blast, which fires many ice projectiles that deal damage and freeze close-range targets. And lastly, we have the Living Flame. This is a burst of flame energy that seeks out and ignites targets. Next, let's cover the Focus Seals. There are a total of 6 Focus Seals that you can equip from your loadout screen. First off is the Hoarfrost Shards. This is rapid-fire shards of ice that slowly freeze a target in place. Next up is the Fireball. This is a versatile fire ability that can be fired quickly in small shots, or it can be charged up for a larger projectile. Next up is the Ball Lightning. This is a discharge of electric energy that can be bounced off walls to reach targets that are behind cover. This also is a pretty good status effect, as we can see used in the gameplay for the Storm. Next up, we have the Glacial Beam. This fires a beam of powerful ice energy in a targeted direction. And lastly, we have the Arc Burst. This unleashes a blast of lightning that will chain to nearby targets for heavy damage. Now that we're done with our assault abilities, let's go ahead and move into our support seals. So inside of the support seals, you're going to have 2 options. You're going to have a defensive option and an offensive option. Let's go ahead and start with the defensive option, which is the Wind Wall. This generates a defensive wall of wind that deflects incoming projectiles. This will be great if your team needs to heal up. You can place this down in front of you to block off projectiles from large groups of enemies or big bosses. It's a good way to actually pick up teammates that are down as well. It can be used kind of as a defensive mechanism. Next up, let's talk about the offensive option. This is known as the Nexus, and it creates a field which provides gear cooldown reduction to teammates who enter its radius. So if you need extra grenades or missiles, it's a good idea to put this thing down. That way, the cooldown is actually less, and you can recharge your grenades or your missiles faster. The last thing, and probably the coolest thing that the Storm can do, is actually its ultimate ability. It is called the Elemental Storm. The Storm manipulates the power of the Anthem to emit successive frost, electricity, and fire. And then it ends the entire ultimate by bringing down a meteor onto the battlefield. I think that the Storm will be necessary in your party if you're going to be doing any high-level content. The status effects that it can provide will allow for lots of combos by both the player and your teammates. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. That is the Storm. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, as well as if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be producing much more Anthem content covering all of the exosuits. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day.